What's up, people? We're back again. This time I have another guest. His name is Shadow. He should be a pretty permanent guest. He can introduce himself, and here you go.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Shadow. We're gonna be talking about the fear that's among men.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good topic to bring up. How most of us fear. Well, why don't you give us an explanation of what you mean by that fear?
Well, what I mean is that men are fearful about everything, about even approaching a woman, uh, just doing like certain tasks. Like I don't know, there's like so many to describe, but can't think of it to my mind.
Okay, so you mean like, um, so you said talking to a girl. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
So what would you be fearful about talking to a girl?
like you get nervous, like oh you don't know what to say, you might stutter, she might reject you, she could say meaningful things to you. Well, not meaningful, like she just straight hate on you, you know? Like, ew, I don't want you. Like that could hurt someone.
Okay, okay. So are you more afraid of the actual feeling that she might give you?
Yeah, I'll say,
Okay, so then,
because you don't know what she'll say.
well, yeah.
Like, you, yeah,
Okay, so then let's just say you have this fear, right? Do you know where it comes from, where it stems from?
honestly, it just naturally comes. I don't know what it is. It's just a girl you had a crush on probably for weeks, months. I don't, you just feel nervous. Like you feel your heart beating, all nervous. Like, I don't know what it is. It just naturally happens, you know? Can't really explain it.
All right. So then, if you have this fear and you don't know quite where it comes from, is it a trauma you might have? I mean, have you ever had a
Yeah, I've got rejected like 3 times probably.
you've been rejected 3 times?
Yeah.
Okay, and
So then,
was it instant rejection or was it one of those things where you kept talking to her
no.
and boom?
Yeah, I basically got let on.
Ah, so
That's yeah.
now I have a question. Because what would you say to guys that would tell you, did she lead you on, or did you lead yourself to be led on?
I think I let myself to be on.
Ah, okay. So
Yeah.
were you like trying to be the nice guy and trying to give everything she
Yeah.
wanted?
Yeah. I did all that because in my mind, if I did that, he would like me. If I did all of those things. But after that, I just figured that I got taken advantage. Years later.
Years
I was
later.
like, you know what? Yeah. I look back on it, I was
How many years are
like,
we
why would you,
talking about?
what?
How many?
No, not years. It was just like 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Oh, that happened 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Oh, no, actually, 4 to 5 years ago. Yeah.
4 to 5 years. And then how long was the or what you, how should I say, how long was the interaction with that person?
Months.
Months. I mean, give me a rough estimate. 6, 9 months.
Probably 5, 6 months.
Okay, so about 6 months that you had a conversation. So in the beginning, it was like every day.
Yeah, like pretty much we got along, started talking every day, hanging out at school every day. Like she seemed like interested. I don't know. She seemed really interested in me. But then when I made the move, she was like, "Nah, I want to focus on myself." And then a couple weeks later, she gets with another dude. I was like, oh,
Okay.
I was like, man,
So you got stabbed in the back.
and that's what I felt like. Yeah, it was like heart crushing. Like all this talking for months just to go nowhere, you know? Just for her to be with another dude. Like, wasted time. A little bit of money, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, the energy you put into it, that's, it just went.
Which is, I found it's crazy that she seemed like actually interested. Like, I don't know if she's putting on an act, good, if she's a good actress or not, but
So
she
what
just
led you,
seemed, it looked generally.
what led you to believe that she was interested? Like, what were the things that you saw?
But she'll give me all the signs, like she'll play with her hair, eye contact.
What else?
I think that's it. Yeah, but it's like the major signs that a girl gives you, you know.
Okay, I mean, there's not only those signs. There has to be more
Yeah, I
signs.
just kind of think.
Okay, so
Yeah,
what about
the majority.
did she like text you in the morning and did she text you whenever?
Sometimes, yeah,
And
she'll be the first one to do it, and sometimes me. So like back and forth. She'll go first, I'll go first.
then okay. So then as you were making your move, when did you decide to make your move?
Ooh, after the fourth, fifth month, probably.
It took you 4 to 6 months to make a move.
Yeah.
You don't think that might have been an issue?
Well, bro, I was dumb back then, dude. I didn't know anything,
Okay.
you know. But now, but now I know.
Okay.
Like I learned my lesson. Yeah, that was pretty stupid doing that, you know. Really stupid.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be so hard on yourself, but I mean, we do have to learn
I
from
know.
mistakes, take accountability.
That's why. Yeah, I look back and I'm like, oh man, why so stupid? Like if I could talk to my high school self, like just stop doing it. You know, it's like it's not worth it. It's not gonna go anywhere. But
Yeah, but I
yeah,
mean, you have to understand a young man's mind. A young man's mind is very. Do you ever speak to your father about this situation?
nah, not really.
Ah,
I try to handle it myself.
got you. So you never got advice from anybody else?
No, I try to figure that stuff out by myself.
Okay.
I'll say those YouTube videos, like
To
the
help you
podcasts and
out.
stuff. Yeah,
Okay. Which is good because believe it or not, your story right now is gonna probably help another guy out. Which is really good. That's the whole point of all
yeah,
this is that's what we're here. We're here to give the vision
yeah.
of a man, what men
And
go
to
through.
not be like me.
Well, I mean,
That's it.
not be like you, but I mean, but you did learn from it, so you can't put yourself.
Oh yeah, definitely. I learned big time.
All right. Well, they say a smart man learns from his mistakes. So
Yeah,
that's pretty important that you learn and you don't make the same mistake twice. Because once you do, now it's insanity. So
yeah,
the fact that you learn from it, now you could see the signs now. I'm sure you'll see how she flirts, how she calls you at certain times. Because I'm
yeah.
sure she was probably trying to be from what you say, she was, how shall I say, you were just a guy to hold what they call a placeholder. I know it sounds mean. It's extremely mean, actually. But you were just,
From what I say, I'll say I was her shoulder to cry on, basically.
yeah, placeholder.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's all you were. You were a placeholder. You were the guy for that moment until she found something better or she felt the other person was better. You met certain requirements, apparently, but for some reason, I guess something that you said maybe or something or some part of the interaction at some point
hmm
led her to believe that there was something better out there. So
yeah,
that you might have to go back and try to dissect your situation to come up with the reason as to why she would be so flirty, be so, I guess, upfront with you.
Yeah.
And then one day she turns around and she's like, nah, I'm not really digging you. The reason why you want to go back and analyze that situation so that you can find out exactly what really it was that might have gone wrong. I'm not saying it's all your fault either. So,
Yeah.
it's not complete. It's okay to take accountability. I'm sure there was something in between where at first she saw you and she was like, okay, this guy fits this and this criteria. This is good enough for right now. Let's see if he can get better. That's what women do. Majority of the time they go, they vet you, they talk to you, they see. It's kind of like they see how weak you can be. Like,
Oh,
let me give you a good example, right? I know this guy where I work at, and this guy, he's from another country, but he comes here, he thinking that it's all gonna be exactly like it is back at his home or where he comes from, and
yeah.
he comes over here and he treats women like if he was back there, and unfortunately, the women here, the westernized women, they don't go for all that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you can't shower them with love. You can't shower them with gifts. You can't, because then they'll take it. They'll take advantage of it, and they'll see you as somebody who's weak. Because you're giving, right? And
Yeah.
then they believe that now, since you're constantly giving, now you've put them in the pedestal, meaning you're showing them that they are better than you. They are more valuable than you. So the minute you turn around and give them more value than you give yourself, then they believe, oh, that means I could find something better because this person is not even in my level. Do you see what I'm saying? So if
Yeah.
you're constantly giving, like this guy, he gives and gives and gives, and it gets to a point where you could see that the women are treating him, they're just using him practically.
Yeah.
Like one girl that he was talking to, she has a husband, and I guess she's not getting the attention from her husband. And she doesn't have those talking interactions or those conversations that she needs. So then he takes that place, but he thinks that by taking that particular place, that she's gonna, at some point, his effort is gonna be rewarded.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works here, because the more you
No.
you give a woman in the Western world, the more she'll take, and that's the sad part.
Exactly.
So I feel bad for him, but I can't really tell him how to be a man, especially if he's of age, so he should know. And he is
Yeah.
talking to, one of them was a married woman, and he's sitting there catering to her, which is crazy because, to put it simply, when you cater to the woman, then now you're showing her a feminine trait. When you're trying to take care of her in the aspect like you would take care of your daughter or something like that, or somebody in your family, then you're practically, you're not being the boyfriend that you should be. Or you're not being the man that you're supposed to be showing, because now you're showing kind of like a feminine trait in a way. So then at
Yeah.
least that's how these women take it. So then they take advantage of that, and then they turn more into the man. So then they start telling you what to do. They start bossing you around. They start telling you things, and now you've turned into this submissive, quiet guy, which is kind of like how you would express that a woman should be towards you. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So then he has turned into the perfect woman, and she wants a man. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you really think about it, all this effort that he's putting in, he's giving into this girl, and that girl is not him. She goes home and she gets plowed, I'm sure, and just her brains, hit the headboard every single night, I'm sure. And
Yeah.
this guy's destroying all her insights. And he doesn't, he doesn't pay attention to her. She goes to work, she gets the attention she needs at work. She goes home, she gets plowed by her husband. She wins, and the ones who lose are the men, because in reality, she's cheating by showing the emotion to the other guy. Goes home, and this guy just, he's taking care of her physical needs at home, and then this other guy is taking care of her emotional needs at work. So she has it all, and to me, that's
Yeah.
when a woman cheats, she cheats with emotion. So she's cheating on her husband emotionally, right? And let's just say, let's widen the scenario, and it's he also has a wife. Let's just say, then if he has a wife and he's giving her his resources, then that would mean that at work they're both cheating on each other, or they're
Yeah.
cheating. How should I say? They're both cheating on their own spouses, so or wife or whatever. So
Yeah.
the whole point of that is because a man cheats when he gives up his resources. A woman cheats when she gives up that attention. So we
Oh,
cheat
okay.
differently. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the way the way he's doing it is totally wrong. So women that tend to take advantage of this guy, and I can't. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'd be a good person by telling him. And I don't know if that would make him mad. I have no idea what it would be. And then I can only
Yeah.
see it from afar. I'm not about to get involved. But it goes back to you and your situation. You were practically in the same situation that he's in now. The difference is he's a lot older than you. But the question is, would you have wanted and would you have listened if somebody like me or you yourself would have been back and been able to tell yourself all these things or have all this knowledge, so then that way you can maybe react or change your mind or maybe change your tactic.
Yeah. I definitely would have changed my mind on everything.
So you would
Because
have
after a
listened.
couple, yeah, I would have listened then. Because then I'll tell myself, just look at it, you're spending months with this girl, and she's not giving you anything back. Like you just don't realize that. And once you put it into thought, she's not giving you anything. Like, what's the point of talking to this girl, right?
Yeah.
So then he was telling the just approach different girls. Don't just stick to one. And once you do that, one is eventually gonna say yes.
Okay.
Also, I tell myself to approach many. If one girl doesn't say yes, immediately just ghost her, talk to somebody else. If she doesn't, if the other girl doesn't say yes, talk to another girl. Just keep it going. Just don't let one rejection stop you.
Okay. So don't let one rejection stop you. That's actually,
Mm-hmm.
that's actually really good um, advice or a good tactic in a way.
Yeah.
Because that's also used in sales. I have another friend who's in sales, and he's a dog. That guy goes after it. I'm talking, he does things that I can't do, but he is on it. And what he does is he takes one rejection, he shrugs it off, and he goes on to the next, and he goes on to the next. And that's also what happens when he
Mm-hmm.
talks to women. Is guy has developed his skills to the point where he talks to a lot of women, and he's
Mm-hmm.
constantly surrounded by what he wants in that aspect, and it's because he's a go-getter. He's out there and getting it. Now the question
Yeah.
is, are those meaningful relationships? That's the question.
Oh yeah.
And so my question to you is, what do you think the best tactic would be to find, not just to find a girl, or how long do you let me rephrase it, how long would you take to decide whether it's time to go ahead and look for a girl that you want her to be your own, or do you just keep going and going Or do you one day decide, hey, you know what? I want a meaningful relationship. Let's see if, maybe I could find a girl like that.
I think it would take me like at least a month to find a meaningful one. Because for me, like I don't want to just go back and forth with a girl or have multiple girls at once. I feel like it's just I don't know, it's just too much to handle, you know. For me, I feel like just one would be good enough for me. I'll take her out on a date, see how she is. Some cheap restaurant, not super expensive. You don't want to blow money on your first date, you know. See how you guys are, and if your vibes are good, then I think you've potentially a meaningful one.
Okay. So what do you say to guys that say you should only take her to a coffee date or a walk in the park? Or guys, the total opposite type of guy, which is, oh, you should spend as much as you can because then that, you have to leave with your wallet. What do you say to both sides of that argument?
I would say that it's fine. Take her to the park and stuff, because walk to the park is free. Like if she doesn't like that, then you already found a better one. Move on. But the expensive ones, I don't think so. Because if you take her to an expensive date the first time, she's gonna keep expecting that over and over and over again, and you might not be able to. You gotta find. Dude, that's how you find out if the girl's meaningful or not. For a cheap date,
Okay.
gotta find out if this. Do we say gold digger?
Yeah, gold digger.
Yeah, gold digger is fine. Yeah, you don't want a gold digger. That's why I say don't take her on expensive dates the first time, because she's gonna keep expecting it. Say, oh, this guy's rich. You took me on an expensive restaurant, and he's just gonna take advantage, and the guy might not even know. That's why so many young girls date dudes that are like triple their age because they have money. It's crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's harder as a younger male to be able to how shall I say, have any resources because you're practically fresh out of your own home. You're barely starting out. You don't know this. You don't know that. You're getting ripped off here. People are trying to take your
Exactly.
money. You know what I mean? Because that's the one thing I learned is, man, it don't matter how old you are. If people know you got money or you got a good job, everybody's gonna try to take some of it at some point.
Exactly.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you got that friend that, oh man, I really need to borrow some money. You got that girl that's like, oh, nobody takes me out. Do you want to take me out? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to spend my money on you. I work really hard for it. I apologize. Maybe I'm
Exactly. Yeah.
cheap. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. If you can't afford it, why would I? And it's kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
if your father can't take you out, then how are you gonna try to find a guy that's in a higher level than him? That's the one thing I don't understand about, because like what you're talking about with the girl you met, to me she was having fatherless behavior. Did she have both of her parents in her house?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so that goes perfectly on my point. My point is fatherless behavior when it comes down to women is they don't respect men. They play with men because that's what their mother has taught them. Their mother has taught them, the female perspective, the female lens. That's what they have. That's what they have been taught. That's what they have in your head. So when they don't understand the lens of masculinity, they tend to just be all over the place because they don't understand the part of how men are structured. Men are there to protect. Men are there for stability. And since their mother has taken that away from them by whether the guy ran off, whether the mom was I don't know, too loud and the guy ran away, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't understand that structure. So when she looks for a guy, she looks for a mess. She's not looking
Yeah.
for a good guy, because a good guy would be considered boring. Why? Because she's used to the chaos, and that's what feels at home to her, because again, she's been with her mom. Her mom is emotional, she's all over the place, constantly doing 1,000 things at once, and then she doesn't understand that her mother is being a mess. She just thinks that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of like back in the day, when you were like 7, and you were outside playing with all the little homies, and then a guy comes and says, "Oh, does your dad hit you? Does your mom hit you?" And they're like, "No, fool, that's crazy." And he's like, "Oh, that's because he don't love you, or she doesn't love you. Your mom doesn't hit you." So
Yeah.
that's not how that is. That's the chaotic part of being in a single mother household. The majority of the times it's chaos. The majority of the times it's screaming and yelling. The majority of the time it's just so hectic. The problem is
Mm-hmm.
that since women are so emotional, these little girls grow up in that home, and now they believe that that's how it should be. So they go and try to find the guy that's the most toxic and most, I don't know, crazy. And then that guy becomes their love of their life, because that's what they've been taught, is that that's normal. Unfortunately, that's not what is normal. They find that out,
Yeah.
of course, but they find that out not until they're like 28, 29, and they realize, holy crap, my looks are going away. I, I only have like 2 or 3 years left for me to have children. I better get this together. But the problem is, she's already been used up, so nobody really wants that. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to say that every guy, every single guy, wants to be with the promiscuous girl, but
Exactly.
no guy wants to end up with that promiscuous girl. Because there's nothing worse than walking down the street with your arm around the girl, and there's a group of guys, and she's been through all those guys. That's
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly. So you get that, right?
I feel like every guy's like that.
Exactly. Well, at least every guy I know is like that. I see guys online that are like, "Oh no, you should let her cheat on you at least 2 or 3 times, and then that's when you say something." No, fool, you crazy.
What?
The minute I find out she's talking to one guy, I'm out. I'm not running
Exactly.
that. I don't see, because to me, I don't condone bad behavior. I just don't. I don't care what woman it is. I let her know, "Hey, yo, I need you to stop." Because I grew up in a single mother home, and I was chaotic. I didn't understand why until I started studying and I started realizing what was going on, and I was like, "Oh man, I had it all wrong this whole time," because I never had a male role model, and the male role models I had were all like really bad guys. So then
Yeah.
I ended up carrying their traits, and grabbing whatever I could, and then I to supposedly become a man, but I didn't realize I was just an emotional giant boy. That's all I was. I was an
Yeah.
emotional old boy. That's what I became. Once you become 18 and you're still emotional, then you're old. You're an old boy instead of being a
Yeah.
young man. Because being a young man is not the same as being an old boy. If you're an old boy, you practically have the mentality of a 12-year-old, and you're out there throwing tantrums, you're out there being angry, you're up, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've across a few guys like that are just, they're still
Yeah.
kids mentally.
Tantrums over small things,
Exactly.
right?
So when you see all that, and then you see how these girls grow up, usually like the way I vet them, I ask them, the first thing I ask them, which kind of throws them off, is, "Are your parents still together?" And if they say no, then I say, "Okay, cool. So you live with your father?" And they're like, "No, I've always lived with my mom." Then I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Because then I know how to deal with it. I don't,
Yeah.
since I know how to deal with it, I won't completely cross her off the list, but it helps me understand her a little bit more. So then I know what to expect. So then I'm not thrown off with all her weird tests of, she texts me today, and then she texts me like 5 times in a row, and I'm just like, all right, I'll text back. And then I text her back, and then she takes her 2, 3 days to reply. And then when she does that and she texts me, I'll take a week to reply and tell her, hey, sorry, I'm late. If you decide to reply, great. If you don't, whatever. It wasn't meant to
Yeah,
be. Because when usually you have a situation like that, I know the person could be somewhat chaotic, and it's not completely their fault. But I can also say that it's up to us as men to be the leader in that actual instance, and be able to lead them to the correct path, and be able not to fix them. We're not here to fix anybody, but
yeah,
we can help them out and guide them a little bit better, and then they'll respect you more as a man, and then they'll actually kind of cling on to you, thinking, oh, now I know what a real good man is, and it's you. And then by that time, sometimes you may have to decide, is this person worth leading,
yeah,
or is it not worth it, and then of course that comes down to the masculinity and the femininity. How, is she showing enough femininity for you to stick around, and are you being masculine enough for her to want to cling on to you? Because usually when you're too masculine, women just want to cling on to you. They don't want to let you go because they found
yeah,
needed, and that has to do not with what they've seen all their life in the videos they have from their mother, but it has to do more along the lines with their biology, which means it's subconsciously this is what they've been desiring this whole time. So,
yeah,
they find that and they just grab onto it, and they don't even know why. Instinctually, they just do it. So it's kind of like us when we find a really submissive, good girl that doesn't get around and nobody really knows who she is. We're like, oh my God, a diamond in the rough, grab it now. So
yeah,
those are I guess is the side of the coin, the opposite side of the coin of the myth is the same coin. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So those are the things. So now, with all that said, now my question to you is, what do you think about what the passport brothers are doing? They go to other countries, and I'm sure you know one or two guys that have gone to other countries and brought back wives. And what do you think about that?
I think it's a good concept because, like again, like you said, I think you said it before. The women here in the Western world, they treat you like trash. They don't do what a woman's supposed to do. They basically are masculine women. And the guys here, they're tired of it, so they just decide to go to another country because they know women are not like the Western woman. So they decide to just settle down with the girl from another country, and they're happy, have kids, family, everything. They don't have to deal with all that toxic stuff, the chaoticness that the Western women that do.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't mind me asking, your parents, they're not from this country, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. So in other countries, if you ever, I'm sure you've been back to where they're from, and I know I have. And when I go back, I realize the big difference. I once, I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I saw a girl and I was like, hey, oh no, it wasn't me. I said hi to her. That's all I said, hi to her. And then I went
Mm-hmm.
I went to go get, because I was at the grocery store. I said hi to her. I don't even know why I said hi to her. She just looked at me. I was like, hey. And she was like, hi. And I was like, okay, cool. So I kept walking, and then another guy, I guess, was walking behind me, and he stops and he says, hi, you are really pretty. And then she turns around, looks at him, and is like, ew, you're disgusting. And I just looked back at her. I looked back at him, and he looked at me like confused. I looked at him like, I gotta go, bro.
Huh.
I don't want to get involved. She seems aggressive. So like I left, and to me it was a bad experience, because that made me realize that maybe she didn't like the guy, and that's the only reason why. It wasn't so much that the guy was a creep or anything. He literally just walked by. He saw her, and just like I did, I saw her. I just didn't say, hey, you're pretty. I didn't compliment her. I just passed by and said, hey, because she looked at me, and I looked at her, and hi, and that was it. And she said hi back. But when I guess the guy said you're pretty, that was insane. So I've been to,
That's very harsh.
yeah, you're telling me. So I've been to another country, and I went there, and I actually went up to the girl and I said, hey, you know what? I was with my cousin, and they were like, go talk to her. And first thing I could think of is, hey, hi, I'm sorry, I think you're pretty. And she was like, oh my God, that's a really good compliment. Thank you so much. I gave her the compliment. She gave me the compliment back. After that, we kept talking. We still talk over WhatsApp. I mean, we still have this, I wouldn't say it's a relationship because we're so far away, but, if I go back to the country, of course, I'm going to be able to talk to her again. So that's going to be a good thing, you know? So what's your input on that?
That brings back to what I said earlier about the rejection thing. I don't know how that guy took it, because that was pretty harsh what that girl said. That guy, he might be scared to approach a girl like that because that girl's very harsh on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's kind of like
That gives him fear. That gives him fear.
yeah,
Because he doesn't want that to happen. It's very harsh for someone to say. Just for saying hi and complimenting,
yeah,
Very, very harsh.
exactly. Can you imagine if he would have walked up to her and insulted her?
Yeah, she wouldn't like that.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
Good point.
you can't insult him. You can't,
That's why. I mean, some guys try, they approach girls, but when that happens, which is, I guess, pretty rare that'll happen, but they'll just stop approaching girls because they don't want that same thing to happen. That fear gets into their mind. That they look back on it, they're like, oh, this could happen again. She's gonna insult me or something. So they never approach girl because they don't want that same experience to happen again.
Yeah, yeah. Another thing I want to say about that is, I mean, I don't. How shall I say? So you and I are like what they call homegrown immigrants, and because even though we're born here, we're
Yeah.
considered immigrants for some reason. I don't get it. But I mean, I'm completely against the whole Westernization thing of women. It's disgusting to me personally, because I see how these women destroy themselves. You can't, again, it's a mess because you can't compliment them. You can't say something bad. Let me give you a good example. It just came into my head. There's a guy at work that I know, and he had been talking to this girl, and she was good too. She has a boyfriend of some sort, or a fiance. I'm not sure. I really don't care. But she's one of the ones that has the bull ring on her nose, and it's got like,
Oh, the piercings.
yeah, and oh god, that's disgusting. And then the whole green hair or blue hair, whatever the hell she decides to change it to.
Yeah.
Every week is a different color. I don't know what that's all about.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he tried to talk to her and this and that, blah blah blah, and I guess at some point she didn't like it. He only texted her like, because it's in their job, so he had to kind of communicate to her, hey, do you have any more of this? Because I take care of that. And then she called HR. And she called HR and made a complaint against him, saying that he was harassing her, that he was always trying to get with her, that he was flirting. Even though that's not what he wrote. So then this is the thing, they investigated this, right? So they went and they went into his emails, they went into his phone. They weren't supposed to go into his phone, that's illegal. But they went into his phone and supposedly, and then they got nothing. All they got was, he didn't do anything. So with that right there, you can see why a lot of men would be scared, because all he did was send her an email at work that was professional, and she said she was being harassed. She felt harassed. So that's just. Can you imagine?
That's crazy, man. That could destroy someone's life, basically.
Exactly. So that's my point. The thing is this is the thing that bothers me the most. It's not the fact that she can destroy his life, right? Because I'm sure she should have the power to be able to defend herself. But the problem is what happens when it's not a bad situation and it's the guy is not the bad one? The girl is just being accusing. Then what
Mm-hmm.
happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing happens to
Yeah.
this woman. And that to me, that's pretty scary, you know. And
Yeah.
but it also has to do with these guys always constantly clinging on, trying to cling on to these women and giving them the attention that they do not deserve. I can understand where your fear comes from. You know, I can definitely understand it because of that situation. I've seen this guy go through this, and it's just terrible. Another guy, same place where I work at, a supervisor for years. He literally, I guess, touched the girl on her back and just said, "Okay, good, good, everything's good," and then he got fired after like 16 years. This guy was so dedicated. He had kids at home. He was a jerk. He deserved it. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna defend him, but the guy was a jerk. He didn't really have any friends in there. There, you know, he was two-faced. He was a snake. All this stuff. So I guess she kind of did us a favor, but at the same time, it was, you know, whether it's true or not, we'll never know. You know, so because they
Wow.
can't prove it. Yeah, that's the worst part is you can't prove it, but he still got fired. That's the sad part, you know. And he dedicated his life to that company, so that's another thing. It's just like,
Wow.
yeah, it's
The
just so sad.
company just threw him out like a dog.
Exactly.
Literally.
And
That's
this,
what happens though. It happens to celebrities also. An allegation comes out, there's no evidence, and they still fired him.
yeah.
They don't associate with that person no more.
Like what's right now? Shannon Sharp is the one going through allegations right now,
Oh,
and
I saw that.
yeah, that's
That was
devastating.
bad, bro.
That's really devastating because this guy he's built himself to be what he is, and all it took was one girl to supposedly feel this, and that's enough to break the man down. You know, that's just way too much
Yeah.
power for a female to have. It really is. You know, and the thing is too, if the person is too dumb to make money, like, because this girl is practically a virtual 304, you know, literally, because
Yeah.
she gets paid to show her goodies. So since that's the case, now you're dealing with somebody who doesn't have enough skill in life to get ahead with just her skill. She's too dumb, so she has to resort to the only thing she has, which is showing her goodies online. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and us as guys, we have to be, especially if you're a millionaire. I mean, you gotta really be careful. You gotta vet these women. You gotta do all kinds of stuff because she has to pass through the hoops, not you go through hoops to prove to her.
Yeah.
You've already proven to life. This guy has had a magnificent career. He's made millions. All his shows off the top, you know, all of the top of the charts, and you know he's done great things. Just to have one girl who's, you know, a 304 selling her goodies online and take it all away. To me, it's just
Yeah.
so unfair. It just boggles my mind. It literally just I don't get it, you know. But
Amazing.
imagine if this was in another country though, that wouldn't happen. Or at least let me rephrase that. Because if it was like in Europe or UK, that just same thing would have happened. It probably would have been worse. But let's just say
Yeah.
it happened anywhere that's not westernized, like, you know, not Europe and not in the United States and not Canada. And this girl coming with these allegations, they would have told her, okay, what? You're telling me you've been doing this guy, and now all of a sudden, because he's signing a contract for $100 million, you want to take some of it? You know, what do you say to that, man?
Oh, that's a lot for a man to deal with.
Yeah, it is a lot to deal with as a man. And I mean, this society is now built against us. So it's really
That's why
difficult.
so many men are fearful because of
Yeah,
stuff like that. It's like it gets my point.
yeah, yeah.
Stuff like that happens.
And we're seeing it every day. We see it.
Yeah, from celebrities to in real life in person.
Yep, yep. It's all really sad because it's destroying our society. You know.
Yeah,
All right. So yeah. So it's just the fear that us as males have to try to avoid all the consequences of that. But
hmm
I think on the next uh, time you and I get together, we'll go over maybe some tactics on how to get rid of that fear, because that's also another very important thing for especially young men growing up in this weird situation where they can't be men. I mean, it's getting
yeah,
better. It's getting better now, but I mean, it can get worse again. So they have to be,
yeah,
we got to be prepared. Um, and maybe the passport bros have something going because westernized women suck. Let's just be honest.
exactly.
Maybe not all, but again, if a woman can say that all men are trash, then you know we can do the same. We can categorize
Yeah,
them, because it's just you've been through experiences in this country where that happens. I've been experiences similar to it. Um, Not as bad, but at least I can learn from a lot of the things that I went through. So it is now a fear. But I think next time we'll go over tactics on how to try to get over your fear, um, and things we could do to uh, focus more on what we're supposed to be doing and not so much on the fear. I know we should
yeah.
be, it's more about treading carefully. It's not so much about fearing, you know.
It's like to overcome, right? To overcome the fear.
Yeah, yeah. We have to learn how to overcome that fear. We can't just have it, and then we run like crazy people because now we're being as emotional as the women because remember, fear is an emotion.
Yeah,
So and it leads to fight or flight, and there's got to be we have to overcome that. We really have to overcome it, and we'll go over as to what other people, I guess we'll call it the manosphere that they call it, I guess is where all uh, men are telling you how to be tough and all this stuff. We'll go over all that next time too, because that's actually counterintuitive to what would be the best thing for all men, in order to be able to overcome their fears and still be the man they're supposed to be.
yeah, definitely.
All right. So you have any more comments before we go on, sorry, before we get out?
No, no comments. I think we discussed everything so far.
Nice.
Everything that we needed to discuss.
That's good. So next time we'll go over a little, some tactics on how to get over fear, and some tactics on how to avoid the toxicity of the opposite side and the people on our side.
Yeah,
We're not red pill or anything, but we do have the vision or the point of view of a man, and unfortunately masculinity gets characterized as one thing, but it could also
yeah,
be a very positive thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, just like femininity. It doesn't have to be bad. Feminism doesn't have to be bad. There is ways to compromise, and all of us come to an agreement.
yeah,
Yeah, so you don't have to go through the situation that you did, and others can learn from it.
yeah.
Yeah,
We can overcome fear that I had,
yeah,
and hopefully it will help them in life
it will.
and find the one.
That's what it's all about. Finding the one, having some kids, build onto society. I'm pro family. Um,
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we'll do that, and we'll do it next time. So everybody, have a wonderful day, and remember, positive vibes. That's what it's all about.